What do you think about Governor Abbott running for a fourth term? He made it official yesterday. This is the report from WFAA.
Governor Greg Abbott officially announces he is running for re-election for a fourth term.
We will protect what we built. We will finish what we started. We will lead Texas into its glorious future. And that's why tonight...
Abbott has served as governor since 2015. If he is reelected and serves the full term, he would become the longest serving governor in Texas history. Currently, his predecessor, Rick Perry, holds that title.
All right. Enough of that. My next guest is going to have some strong opinions about this. The great state rep, Brian Harrison, out of the Midlothian area. Welcome back, Brian Harrison.
James Parker, always great to be with you, my friend.
All right. Generally speaking, I'm just going to assume you're against this. I mean, I am, and you and I are simpatico on a lot of issues here. Do we agree on this one?
You know, I think a lot of people are starting to ask the question, how long is long enough? How long should somebody be able to serve as governor of Texas? Because, the governor made it official. He is asking 30 million Texans to give him his fourth term. It would be unprecedented. He would be the governor of the state of Texas for 16 years, meaning people would be born and getting driver's licenses and driving on our roads all under the same person. And so, there's a lot of angst in the grassroots. I mean, Texas voters, these are the people that elected Donald Trump with a 14-point landslide. They want bold Republican leadership. They deserve bold Republican leadership. And everything in that speech last night, I mean, all the stuff he's saying he'll do if he gets 4 more years. I mean, I'm sorry, I am left scratching my head a little bit. We could have done all those things in the last 12 years, so that's why, and a lot of them I'm asking him to call us a special session for right now, because it's not like he's a challenger saying, oh, if you elect me, I'll do these things. He's the governor today. Call us back for a special session. Let's cut property taxes right now before the tax bills, are due 2 months from now. Let's solve the big problems confronting our state. So it is frustrating for a lot of folks in the grassroots, and I know a lot of folks are starting to more loudly than they used to talk about the term limits. Possibly for Texas governors.
Well, see, my complaint has nothing to do with term limits. And, while generally speaking, most people think that you can be in office past your point of usefulness. But my big complaint against Greg Abbott isn't his time in office. It's his policies that he's pursued while in office. If he was doing everything the way you and I wanted to do, I'd be cheering for a fourth term. So I don't want people to think that I'm against him having a fourth term because it's a fourth term. I'm against him having a fourth term because we didn't get property taxes. We don't have school choice. He demonstrated he was not committed to liberty during the COVID shutdown. I still don't forgive him for all of that stuff. I have a long memory, Brian Harrison.
That was one of my first real exposures to how corrupt and fake the Republican leadership is in Texas. I was working with President Trump as his chief of staff at HHS in 2020, trying to reopen the economy. I move home, get elected in 21, and I was horrified to learn that the Texas government still had COVID vaccine mandates. The Texas government stayed in a COVID disaster longer than every single other state in the union, except for the People's Republic of Illinois. And then to your point, the reason I think people are talking about term limits isn't maybe so much for their views on term limits themselves, but as you said, because of the policies, because there's a record of 12 years. And what does that record look like? We've got record DEI. I think the Texas government's been the biggest funder of DEI maybe in the whole country. We've got we're indoctrinating the entire next generation in transgenderism thanks to Greg Abbott's regents in every one of our public universities. We've got corporate welfare on steroids. I mean, did I miss it? Did Governor Abbott just forget to mention the billions of dollars he's stealing from taxpayers to give to liberal Hollywood, or the money he's bribing California companies to move here, or the fact that property taxes have basically done nothing but skyrocket for the past 12 years? That's the objection. It's the policies.
All right, State Rep Brian Harrison, there's a lot of these projects that sound like they're coming straight out of the Al Gore playbook. And then they get signed on here. Like, it disgusts me that Texas is number one for wind power generation, because that's all subsidized. It's not like we naturally did that, or we're talented, or we found out some new efficiency. No, we've just squandered more tax dollars on wind power than any other state. And the other things, like, what did they do a couple years ago? Like the rural broadband program, where we've got to spend billions of dollars. So some guy who lives out in the sticks can get more than 300 megabits per second. I'm like, that's not a priority.
Well, by the way, when we're switching to satellite anyway, I mean, this is the broadband, the way we're doing this is going to be antiquated in just a few years. But yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, the DMV, I mean, we're not even doing the basics, right? President Trump's waging a war on illegal immigration. Well, the Texas government, instead of locking arms with the president to secure the borders and fight illegal immigration, the Texas government, under Greg Abbott's appointees at the Department of Motor Vehicle, I broke this scandal last week, we're facilitating illegal immigration and by allowing illegal aliens to register vehicles here in the state of Texas. And so it's just absolutely an outrage what Texans, they're being taxed out of their homes, right? Highest effective property tax rate by one study in the whole country. Texans are being taxed out of their homes to, you're right, fund the leftist progressive AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Joe Biden agenda, the Green New Deal scam. We are absolutely spending tax dollars and have been for decades on these renewables to prop them up when they can't compete, or to bribe liberal woke companies to move here from California, and then we don't make them pay the property taxes that we make the hardworking ma and pa shop small business owners in the state. So the Texas government, here's the bottom: the Texas government is corrupt. The Texas government hates the Texas taxpayer, and it's quite frankly, it's just past time that we get elected Republicans down in Austin that put the people first, that prioritize their freedom, their liberty. Texas should be the #1 state in America for liberty, but we're not even close.
All right, dad joke warning here. From what Brian was describing, it sounds less like Texas and more like taxes. Am I right, guys? Huh? Am I right?
Maybe it's not a coincidence that it's the same letters.
All right.
Same letters.
So if not, do we have time to do this? I only have 1 minute left. And the question is, if not Governor Abbott, who?
Well, that's a tough thing. I mean, look, the governor, for better or for worse, he's sitting on, roughly $100 million, which does get to the question. I mean, will conservatives actually have a choice in the selection? The liberal maintenance of the status quo, high taxes, pro-DEI, pro-transgender indoctrination, corporate welfare, money for Hollywood, facilitating illegal immigration, woke indoctrination, or will there be a viable candidate? It's just very hard when every basically special interest liberal group across Texas and the country, by the way, I mean, lots of money from all over the country, has poured in to prop up somebody who, quite frankly, is very good for the rich elitist status quo. And so that's a problem. It's going to be very hard. There may be some candidates here or there. I get asked, and I'm honored to be asked to run very frequently. But here's what I can tell you. All I can tell you for sure is that we've got a course correct in this state, and Texans have been sold out by the corrupt liberal uniparty in Austin, and we need and deserve bold Republican leadership that is not afraid to stand up and fight the liberal progressives that are hell-bent on destroying our state and our country.
I was expecting maybe you would say, well, hell, Parker, I'm running. You want to make an announcement here on the James Show, or
you know what, James? I promise you, if I were to make that announcement, you'd be one of my first phone calls to make, my friend.
Yeah, probably after your friends in Houston. But thank you very much for your time on the James Show.
It's okay.
I know. State Rep Brian Harrison out of Midlothian.
The James Show Podcast.